Someone could be you.
Now you got the story, and believe me, it's true. Coming right from the gang and your pal.
Scooby-Doo! Scooby-Doo! And where's my money?
Look for a big, scary asylum.
This may be our most terrifying case ever.
Right there was a woman.
What the was that?
Is there anybody here with us?
What? Whoa, whoa.
What the?
Oh, what? Stop. What is that? What is that?
Is that a person?
Expedition X, Tuesdays 8:30 on Discovery.
515# to subscribe.
Hello, I'm Camila Guare with the news update. The government is committed to protecting the investments of all Papua New Guineans and ensuring accountability at every level of financial management within the nation. Prime Minister James Marape made these remarks when announcing that the National Executive Council has established an interdepartmental task force named Task Force SHIELD to probe the Pacific Balance Fund's activities from 2010 to 2023.
Prime Minister James Marape has announced that preliminary investigations by the Securities Commission of Papua New Guinea into the Pacific Balance Fund's activities from 2010 to 2023 have revealed significant breaches of the law, resulting in substantial losses to the retirement savings of citizens. In a resolute response to these findings, the National Executive Council has established an interdepartmental task force named Task Force SHIELD. This body is charged with conducting a thorough investigation of these breaches, bringing those responsible to justice without exemption. Those found guilty of misusing people's investments will face the full severity of the justice system. The Task Force SHIELD's formation follows discoveries of mismanagement and illegal activities by the former trustee and fund manager, Melanesian Trustee Services Limited. Notably, allegations that this entity has misappropriated over 222 million kina from a total return of 296 million kina that rightfully belong to the local unit holders from 2010 to 2022. Such injustices are intolerable and demand decisive action. The Task Force SHIELD is set to deliver its initial findings and commence legal proceedings within the next 3 months. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
The PNG flag was raised at the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank in Beijing on May 13th in a historic ceremony marking PNG's membership. The flag raising was witnessed by the President and senior members of the bank, following on from Prime Minister James Marape's visit on October 17th, 2023. PNG joins 109 other members covering 81% of the world's population and 65% of the global economy. AIIB supports both government and private sector infrastructure for tomorrow or its projects. Residents of Bushar's portions 2156, 2157 and 2159 have less than 60 days to vacate the land before eviction proceedings begin on July 11th. the Sheriff's Office, accompanied by police officers, visited the settlers to serve eviction notices for the second time on Friday, May 10th, emphasizing the court's decision and the need to comply. Acting Commander of NCD Central Police, Peter Guinness, reiterated that the court ruled in favor of number 1 Super, allowing a 120-day grace period for the settlers to vacate the land before they face forced eviction. He stressed the importance of understanding the need to comply with the court order and vacate the premises willingly. ACP Guinness again reminded the settlers that police are only enforcing the court order. If they do not comply with the orders, they will be held accountable and in contempt of court. The Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission has released the first draft of the Indigenous Constitution for an independent Bougainville. This marks a significant step in the region's path towards political independence. This draft has been made available for download on the autonomous Bougainville government website. The consultations, set to commence this month, will see the draft constitution being workshopped with Bougainvillians to gather feedback and input. Milne Bay Governor Gordon Wesley is confident that the Milne Bay provincial government, under his leadership, will ensure the delivery of 2 major projects. These are the Milne Bay Teachers College and the new site for the St. Barnabas School of Nursing. Governor Wesley appealed to Prime Minister James Marape to assist the provincial government to fund these projects.
We have been sending our children to teachers, nursing colleges in other provinces, and they have contributed to nation building in their respective areas. Now we would like to have our teachers college and a nursing college in this province to produce teachers and nurses to serve in the province as well as throughout the country. These colleges will contribute to nation building, and therefore funding assistance from the national government will be required to progress their development, and I'm pretty sure.
Furious Western Australian sheep farmers and exporters have vowed to overturn a ban on live sheep exports due to start in May 2028.
Fourth-generation sheep farmer Peter Reid has seen some tough seasons, but a looming ban on live exports will be his biggest challenge by far.
There's a lot of anger out here in the bush about what's happening. We feel like we haven't been spoken to or consulted about this.
The federal government has announced Australia will no longer export live sheep from May 2028. A $107 million transition package will help businesses in the supply chain to adapt.
At the moment, the abattoirs at full capacity. No one's interested in building new abattoirs.
The federal coalition has vowed to overturn the ban if it wins the next election.
We're going to be targeting Labor and making sure that people understand what the industry contributes to the economy and how it is a sustainable trade for the future.
Fighting this is what we need to do. Transition is not an option.
The federal government promised to phase out live sheep exports at the last election and says anything less would be a broken promise.
So unfortunately for the industry, I think they really lost the community some time ago, and government is frankly catching up.
The number of live sheep being shipped overseas has fallen steadily for 2 decades, while exports of chilled meat have risen. The Agriculture Minister wants WA to focus on onshore processing facilities, which he says will create more jobs.
The funding that we've provided will obviously go towards helping sheep producers adjust, and the whole supply chain, the truckies, the shearers, everyone involved in the industry. But a lot of the money is also dedicated to building up that processing capacity.
Proposition that the minister's put forward that chilled or live meat is going to be the white knight is farcical.
The decision also sets up a showdown between the federal and WA Labor governments. Premier Roger Cook warning the ban will cost 400 jobs and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Homeowners in Bunbury, impacted by Friday's tornado, are wrestling with the difficult decision of trying to salvage their homes or call in the bulldozers.
Elaine Bartles was sitting on the end of her bed when the tornado slammed into her house without warning.
Next minute, I heard this bang in the bedroom, and I just sort of stood up, and the whole roof has caved in just missed me, and there's a massive big beam across the bed, isn't it, with nails and that in it.
She went outside to investigate.
And then it was all coming towards me. There was the roof, there was glass, there was timber.
Elaine took shelter under the door frame until the danger passed.
Felt like it might have been a couple of minutes, but someone said it's only 8 seconds.
That's all it took for her home to be ripped apart. Her husband Doug wasn't home when it struck. When he saw the state their house was in, he was relieved to find Elaine safe.
The next thing that struck me is all our debris off our roof had been scattered pretty well all over the suburb, and the one thing that I was real concerned about, that somebody was going to be hurt by it, and we're really glad that no one was actually hurt by it. That'd been bloody awful.
Yeah.
Friday's freak tornado saw winds so powerful they picked up this steel beam from the roof of Doug and Elaine's car garage, hurling it into bushland across from their house. The tornado damaged 220 homes in Bunbury, 16 severely and 9 deemed uninhabitable. Authorities are continuing to warn people to stay away from asbestos.
Obviously with the tornado there's damage to properties, fences etc. that contained asbestos materials. It's been scattered around the area.
They are also warning of more bad weather this weekend.
And although the timber looks pretty bad, and when you look on the inside it looks like like a war zone, the actual structural, it can be recouped.
Many homeowners are now deciding whether to repair or rebuild.
We really urge residents to make sure that their properties are prepared, and those that have been in the impact area have taken actions to secure their houses from further damage.
A long road to recovery as winter approaches.
The teenager who killed Emma Lovel has been sentenced to jail. A judge has categorized the home invasion murder of Queensland woman Emma Lovel as particularly heinous.
For the family of Emma Lovel, no sentence will ever be enough.
Emma's not here. He's not going to bring her back.
Instead of celebrating his birthday with his wife, her husband Lee Lovel watched in court as her teen killer was punished for murder.
It would have been a very different day if Emma was here.
The teenager received 14 years in jail for stabbing the mother of 2 after the then 17-year-old broke into their North Lakes home on Boxing Day 2022. It's one of the longest sentences handed to a juvenile in Queensland in several years and could only be given because a judge found his crime particularly heinous. It is correct to describe the offence in this case as atrocious and one which would create a sense of outrage in the general community.
I'm pleased, I suppose, he's gone from particularly heinous crime and we've got more than up to 10 years, which is what I thought it was going to be. I'd like to think that maybe going forward this can help other people, set a new precedent maybe.
Under Queensland legislation, the maximum time a juvenile can be ordered to serve in custody is 70% of their sentence. That's unless special circumstances can be determined. Justice Sullivan found those factors still did not outweigh the seriousness of his offending, as well as his lengthy criminal history. The Lovels were ordinary citizens enjoying their family life in their home where they were entitled to feel safe. What occurred violated that entirely. This means the teen will have to spend 9 years and 9 months in jail and will be released in 2032.
I suppose my mind run away and thinking that you're going to get like a life sentence, but no, I don't feel justice is served one bit, really, no.
The KPHL PNG men's sevens and women's sevens have qualified to participate in the second tier series from the 17th to 19th May 2024. The pool draw for the Challenger final round took place at Hong Kong Stadium on Wednesday ahead of the HSBC Sevens 2024 event this weekend and produced some exciting matchups. Men's leaders Uruguay are drawn in Pool A alongside hosts Germany, Georgia and Papua New Guinea. Hong Kong China will be looking to continue the fine form that saw them claim silver in Montevideo and will face Uganda, Tonga and Mexico in Pool B. Meanwhile, Kenya, Chile, Portugal and Japan make up a tough-looking Pool C. In the women's, event leaders China will face Thailand, Hong Kong China and Czechia in Pool A. Second place Argentina is in Pool B together with Uganda, Paraguay and PNG. Pool C sees Belgium, Poland, Kenya and Mexico drawn together. There were exciting results from round 9 of the Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball Competition. Sunday, May 12, delivered thrilling matches and unexpected outcomes. Here's a roundup of the results. In Pool A, New Sky Pacific had better chances over Kina Bank, beating them 2-1. In another interesting match, Digicel proved a better side, outplaying Koroboro 2-0, a match that was easily won by Digicel, who had a good set of play to outclass their opponents, who fought strongly in the first, but Digicel had the final laugh in the second set to win. In the women's encounter, Digicel, coming off a loss from last weekend's defeat from Department of Works and Highways, regrouped to come off strongly to register a convincing win against Koroboro, 2-0. POM Corporate Volleyball advances into round 10 this Sunday, May 19th, for another interesting play. Thanks for your company. Join us at 6 for the main bulletin.